All right. Hello, welcome to today's episode of the Group Therapy Podcast. Today we have horror host Bud the Demon himself, James Carnes from Texas. And you're probably enjoying the warm weather down there where we're enjoying bullshit cold weather right now.
It's actually cold here for Texas. That's I'm out here in my shop right now, but yeah, I've got my beanie on and I'm all bundled up, man. It's pretty damn cold. It's in the 40s here.
Oh, cold weather in Texas at 40s.
Yeah,
It's like
right.
20s here. And it was snowing and everything else is bullshit. So
Oh yeah, fuck that.
well, I'm not gonna lie. Before we get too far, my uncle lives in Dallas, and one year I was here, not far from here. I was across town at the time where I lived, and here in Ohio, it was almost 70 degrees, and in Dallas, it was snowing on Christmas.
That's crazy, man.
Oh yeah, my dad was laughing. He's like,
It's flopped.
"Yep." And he goes, "It's cold down here." I'm like, "It's warm." I'm standing outside in my shirt, no jacket on my front porch. Although, like 2 days later, it was like below freezing again. So, but we got it.
Of course.
Brief moment, we were better in Texas. All right, but no, we'll get back to this. Tell us about yourself today, sir.
Oh man, a lot to talk about, really. I mean, yeah, I'm the horror host. Everybody knows and loves Bub the Demon. Me and my co-host Edgar Nevermore, the mutant man Raven. We're the first two horror hosts out of Waco, Texas. So we're pretty damn proud of that. But we've got, I mean, me and him have been having, like, we talked about doing a lot of film projects and stuff before we started horror hosting, and we're sort of, I mean, we're still working a lot on that. We actually have a couple of projects in the works right now too, so a lot of stuff being written. He's writing the script actually for a Splatterhouse fan film right now.
Sweet.
Yeah, based off the old school video game.
Yep.
Can't believe no one's done that yet. That's why he was like, "Holy shit!" Like it's a huge passion of his. I was like, "Dude, roll with it, man," because I ended up I don't know if you saw it. I posted it earlier. Was watching again. Got to throw a shout out. It's one of my favorite movies now. Adam Chaplin. It's a Necrostorm movie. I don't know if you've seen any of Necrostorm stuff, man, but like everything is super violent, like
Oh yeah.
hyper gore, like totally unrealistic. Well,
I got to see that movie. I can't know how many years ago it was. But my one buddy used to get a theater like every like 2 Fridays a month, and he would show like these weird cult movies and stuff like that. And
yeah.
that was one of them we got to see. Never heard of it. We just went in freaking blind and was like, "All right, we're gonna check out this movie." And I was like, "Oh shit, this is fun."
Yeah, it's mind blowing, man. I was definitely not ready for that. Like growing up, I was a huge fan of Fist of the North Star, the anime,
Oh yeah.
and like seeing that right there, I was like, and I was just talking about it too. I was like, there's no way, like, no one could ever put like a live action Fist of the North Star and do it right. And the more I started watching this movie, I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna do it. So I'm talking to a few other people, got some pretty big names involved right now. So that's I mean, it's still way pre development. Um so I mean, I've still got a lot of work to do with that, but that's gonna be my baby for sure, man. But we've got a few other short films and stuff that we're working on too, as well as the show.
You're like me, man. I'm currently I do the 3 shows a week, and I'm currently
Yeah.
working on scripts for a series I want to do, a YouTube series with like an actual like series, like a TV series, but it's because it was gonna be a big film, and I decided to like shrink it down, make little like do it in like 15-minute like segments, and hopefully I may not
Hell
shoot
yeah.
this summer, but I'm going to shoot some test stuff that I can work on so I can have this footage and see what I can actually do and what I can't do with my editing programs, with the cameras I got and the microphones and stuff, and then go from there. So,
Hell yeah, hell yeah, yeah. That's the thing, man. Too is just like using what you got, man, and learning. Like, dude, like I'm learning. I learn tons of new stuff every day. It seems like with filming and editing, especially with editing, man. Like that is definitely like where I definitely need to up my game for sure. Which we're definitely doing that with the Dead End Drive-In featuring Bub and Edgar this season. Like and yeah, the cave is still there, and I might end up still keeping Cave of Carnage as its own separate show also. I haven't really fully decided on that. It's definitely it's staying its own property for sure, but the Dead End Drive-In is definitely it's like I've expanded the set. It's way bigger than what it was before. We actually have like a drive-in style, a mini drive-in style screen that I built. Um, and we, like I said, we're doing a lot more skits with this one. We pretty much didn't do any skits really before, but we're definitely going kind of skit heavy with this one. And I've actually got a pretty big voice actor on board as our announcer for the show. We got John St. John, the voice actor for Duke Nukem.
that's freaking awesome. That's
So yeah, I can't fucking wait, man.
See, it's funny because you're talking about all this stuff. I was like, man, I did, I do the 3 shows, I do this, and then I added the 4th show, which is takes the place of the other one, which was me and my wife. And that one's kind of just whenever we can get together and just put together an episode. And now I'm been running it out of my basement, which is what I call my lair. And it depends on which show I'm doing. As I shoot it this way, it's my interview show. I shoot it this way, it's my other 2 shows.
Right.
And I'm thinking about redoing this because this is a bar technically, even though there's just comic books stacked everywhere on top of it, and shooting it that way for our other show.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
No. But I'm trying to find a building right now that I can do. Trying to look for a warehouse so I can have storage for the comic book shop and for my store, so I can store my vehicles in there for when I'm not using them for conventions. But I can also set it up as a studio, so I can actually put the walls in, decorate it, so it's just the set studio. I don't have to mess with everything. I don't have to have my dogs running around my legs and my kid banging on the door upstairs.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, yeah. No, that's what I was super stoked about like I said, expanding with this set. Like and at first, like whenever I had first planned all of it, it was just me. I was just gonna do it myself. And then a buddy of mine, Seth Holbrook, Edgar Nevermore, he was like, dude, like he was like, I'd love to do that with you, man. Like he was like, dude, being a horror host would be so fucking cool. And I was like, well, dude, come on, man, fuck it, let's do it together.
That's right, man.
So and the cave, like I was kind of like in my head, I planned on it was just gonna be me, maybe my daughter as my puppeteer behind me, but yeah, that quickly got pretty cramped after we did a few episodes and started thinking about it and just started thinking about it, and we were like, you know what, fuck it, dude, let's build like a mini drive-in. So it kind of went from there and kind of just, and also that's the thing too with that angle, we're not only just going to show like horror and sci-fi stuff anymore, we're going to show old school public domain like kung fu movies, westerns, like anything that you would see like at a drive-in.
Oh yeah. Well, there's so much that we're missing out on, and I was joking around with my wife a little bit ago, and I was like, I'm like the bastard stepchild of horror hosts because I do the sci-fi TV shows and I do Saturday morning cartoons, but yet I still get lotted in with the other horror hosts, and then I do a horror host show, but that's not my main gig. And it's cool because I keep thinking about adding because I do Saturday morning serials, and I thought about doing a Saturday afternoon show because we
Yeah,
all
hell
grew up
yeah.
with it. So I thought about doing it so that it's like the cheesy I westerns and the cheesy kung fu movies, and then something else. So you have like if you watch Saturday morning, you can just flip it over at noon, and then you can start watching what you would normally. I do
Right. Right.
one show. I did it for our 1 years, and it was Saturday all day, and it was started at 7 in the morning with the old 60s black and white cartoons, and went to I think 6 o'clock in the afternoon. It was like 12 hours worth of stuff I did.
Oh wow. Hell yeah, man.
I was like, man, that's just the show I only want to do every once in a while. That's just too much.
Yeah, yeah, I bet, dude. I bet. Like, and that's what I was starting our own channel. Of course, I've teamed up with Slash Cooper, with Graveyard Television. But I, we plan on doing a channel on Amazon.
Hmm.
So right now we're just on YouTube and Facebook, but when we get on Amazon, we'll be able to host, the independent films that both of us have been given permission by artists to host and go. I'm definitely gonna really push the envelope with the show whenever we get to where we can go on Amazon with the skits and whatnot, because there's only so much we can do on Facebook and YouTube without getting into some trouble. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna probably gonna piss a few people off, but I don't really care.
Uh, I would like to redo my show, but given the fact is I have never given two shits about what I air. So I've never made a penny because I don't care, because I know there's no money in this. So I was like, screw it. I'm gonna, if whatever. And so I just do the cartoons until they tell me to take them down, or they take it down themselves. Uh, but I would love to get on Tubi. I have a friend who has his show on Tubi, and I'm like, maybe that's what I should go for. Just go for Tubi. Just
Yeah, no shit, right? I mean, hell, dude, go for it, man.
yeah. I think if I don't redo my basement and I do get the other building, then I'll really put it forward, because then I can bring in other people, because man, I shoot my show legitimately sometimes at like midnight on a weekday, or
Yeah,
no one wants to be
yeah,
here helping me at freaking 1 o'clock in the morning when they got to
right.
get to work at 5 in the morning. So you
Yeah,
know
that's understandable.
yeah. So now if I shoot it at a studio, then I'll just basically go in one Sunday. I'll go to the gym, then we go to the studio until we're done, and then knock it out. That way.
Hell yeah.
You're right, dog. Sorry. My dog's over here making weird noises. So I gotta ask you, man, how did you get into horror hosting?
Man, it's been something that I've been into again ever since I was a kid, growing up watching Joe Bob with my papa, and then probably about 5 or 6 years ago is whenever I really started like watching. I found Slash Cooper. Started watching his shows, started watching Svengoolie around the same time, both of them. And then Joe Bob came back on Shutter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like, oh shit, it's just like all of this, like it was like a culmination of like childhood memories all just coming up at once. But I used to do a podcast, but I was wanting to get still wanting to do something. We've been on hiatus forever, and it didn't look like the show was coming back. So I was like, you know what, man, I'm gonna reach out to Slash and be like, hey, like what would I need to do to start horror hosting if I was wanting to do it? And he was like, oh, I got you. Here you go, brother. Like, bam. And he set me up, connected me with all the right people, and just went from there, and everything just snowballed, man.
Oh yeah. Well, it's funny because I talk to everybody. I don't know how old you are, but we had a local horror host that I grew up on, end up becoming, I wouldn't say friends. We became acquaintances later on in life. And then one of his producers, I ended up becoming friends with him, and we would sit there and talk. And one day I was like, man, I keep thinking about, wanting to do a horror host. And he's like, do it, do it. He's like, just do it. And I'm like, man, how do you go about getting movies? And he goes, well, you do the public access or the public domain ones, which everybody does. He goes, but it's easier to ask for forgiveness than for permission. He goes, so just do it. And he goes, and all they can do is tell you to take it down. And I'm sitting there one day, and this is during the pandemic, and I'm stuck at home, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna do this. And I start doing it, and I had to thank him. And he's like, "Is it worked out?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "They've only asked me to take down a handful of episodes. I mean, literally, I'm working on my 99th episode now, and I think they took down 4 episodes before they aired. They said, nope, those cartoons can't get passed. And then they've taken cartoons down a couple here and there because I have people like, what happened to episode 26? I'm like, I don't know. There should be an episode 26. I scroll down through my thing. It's still there, but then it goes blocked. I'm like, crap. So,
Oh, damn.
so I'll take it and I'll go like, all right, delete. I'll hit the thing where you can just delete out the spot they don't allow. And then the episode goes back up. But what I'm thinking about doing is swapping that over. So leaving those, taking those down. And then for my patrons, I would just put those on Patreon so that they can just watch the full episode the way it is.
Hell yeah.
Fuck it, I'll get
So
a way
awesome.
around it. So
He's like, hey, screw it, man.
and the stupid shit people go after is funny. I got one that somebody went after me and demonetized. It's demonetized anyways because it was never monetized. But they went after me for a commercial. Just somebody claims they have a right to a commercial, and I'm like, all right, whatever.
I mean, yeah, people do some weird stuff, man. People do some weird stuff.
The what's the one people have started going through like public domain movies and claiming they own the rights to the public domain movies now.
Oh, good Lord.
And I'm like,
yeah, because we only have a couple on YouTube, because I think we did 6 episodes, but only 5 of them we actually ended up airing. But 3 of them were ones that we had permission to host. They weren't public domain movies, so those are the only 2 that are on YouTube were the public domain ones. But we haven't been hit yet, and I've heard of like things like that, like with music or like something like that. Like they'll change something and then bam, they'll hit your ass with one of those.
yeah. Somebody was, I can't remember who it was, but they told me that they went to do a movie and these people showed up and were like, that's our movie. And he's like, no, that's public domain. They're like, nope, no, we own the rights to that. It's like, no, you don't. No one owns the rights to
Yeah, I heard somebody had said something uh in a group or something whenever I'd shared maybe like our first episode, The House on Haunted Hill. And then like I was like, yeah, well, good luck. It's public domain. Like I don't care. Do what you gotta do, buddy.
Yeah. I think our the Doctor and the Witch episode with not Night of the Living Dead, but Carnival of Souls, which I know is in public domain. That's 100% in public domain. And we still had somebody
Yeah, for sure.
step up, and I'm like, dude, no, whatever.
So, so everybody knows that's public domain. Come on now.
Yeah. There are certain movies that every horror host does, and that's Night of the Living Dead, House on Haunted Hill, Carnival of Souls, Nosferatu, all those. And I'm like, yeah, dude, don't even tempt it. I know there's certain versions of Night of the Living Dead that people have the rights to, like I think the 30th anniversary one. I think people have it because they went through and they put new footage in. So they have the rights to that. But they only have the rights to their footage. So the rest of the movie is still in public domain, but they can go after that like 15 minutes they added to make the extended cut of the movie or whatever. But
right.
It's dumb shit.
Yeah, it's so stupid. That's so stupid. But oh well, and that's what I was saying too, and that's why like and that's I prefer more going for public domain to go to like independent filmmakers and be like, hey, like, is it cool if I host your movie? Like, and because of that too, like you were saying, like everybody does public domain stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to do something different. I want to, like do something fresh, something new. Give something, give something that maybe not everybody's seen before. Like, and 9 times out of 10, they're awesome fucking movies. I mean, there's a
Oh yeah.
lot of really good independent stuff out there they're hidden gems.
Oh yeah. Well, our next episode of The Doctor and the Witch, if when I get to it, it's just we've been so busy, is going to be a fan film episode. So we're doing the Voorhees Night of the Beast, which is Jason versus Bigfoot, and then we're doing
Yeah.
She Burns in Hell, the Carrie fan films. And
I haven't
I
seen those.
yeah, I talked to, well, I know personally, I know the director of She Burns in Hell. And I did an interview with Jason Pitts, the guy who directed Voorhees Night of the Beast. So I'm like, whatever, I'm going to run with it, have fun with it.
Hell
The one that got me was when I did our Christmas episode. We did Silent Night, Bloody Night, and Elves. And the Elves went all the way through except for the soundtrack. The soundtrack is what got tagged because
yeah.
Terror Vision has the rights to publish the music.
Womp womp.
But they let it go. It's still up. It's just it's been demonetized, which I'm not monetized anyway. So
Right, exactly. You're not trying to make any money off the shit anyway.
yeah, yeah. I don't know how you stand on this, but every horror host I know, this goes, this is a labor of love. If you're going in this business to make money, find something else to do.
Yeah,
Not making
absolutely.
any money. So
Absolutely.
yeah. Um I do you do the convention circuit or anything like that right now?
We actually just had our first convention a couple weeks ago, Cult Classics convention in Bastrop. And that was a fucking blast, man. We had so much fun. Got to meet Uncle Lloyd Kaufman, President of Trauma. Had a good meeting with him. So yeah, got to meet and talk to A. Michael Baldwin from Phantasm, and that's another one of my like childhood like heroes. Phantasm is my favorite like horror movie franchise ever. So getting to meet him was really fucking cool. And I mean everybody there was really really cool. And like that's my favorite convention to go to here in Texas. I mean, I've only been to Texas Frightmare in Dallas and that one though. I mean, I haven't been to the one in Houston yet. But to me, it's way smaller. It's more intimate. Like you get a lot one-on-one time with everybody. Like there's no insane lines. Like it's fucking awesome.
That's cool. See, I go to Horror Hound, but I was actually invited as a guest for the first time last year, which is
Yeah.
fucking weird to me.
Hell yeah.
I've been in comic books and everything for so long, and I've been going to conventions, paying or being a vendor at cons. And suddenly they're like, "We need you to be a guest." I'm like, "Me? Yeah, all right." So I ended up going there, hanging out, and doing interviews with all the people, and oh my god, had a blast with what I call the Hellraiser guys. But look, I spent 2 solid days just hanging out with the guys from that worked on the Hellraiser movies, whether behind the scenes or the last Pinhead. And these
Nice.
guys were all just super chill and had a good time, and end up hanging out with a guy that worked for Tony. Why can't I think of Tony's last name? And he just does practical effects for movies. But me and him sit there and talked and talked and talked. I guarantee we talked probably 10 hours over
Hell
2 days.
Hell yeah, yeah. See, that's awesome, man. Yeah, we were vendors at this one, but like it was our first convention. You know what I mean? Like hell, I didn't start going to conventions until a couple of years. The year before COVID was my first convention, and then I planned on, oh yeah, hell yeah, well, I'm hooked now. And then we all know what happened there. But and like I just started going back just last year.
Yeah. So it's how how are the conventions down in Texas? Are
What
they?
do you
I
what do you
mean,
mean?
Texas being so much bigger. I mean, I'm Ohio, but we have some of the bigger ones here in Ohio because we have for Ohio. I for some reason is a horror mecca, and
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
I don't know why,
Yeah.
but
Ohio and Iowa, both of them. Like I don't fucking understand it. Like I'm still trying to wrap my head around Pittsburgh. What the fuck? Why?
Pittsburgh
Why?
has Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
But yeah, I mean, Frightmare in Dallas, like they had some. Well, it's still like they get pretty big name fucking people. Like the year that I went, Bruce Campbell was there, Robert England was there, um, Ted Raimi, Sam Raimi were there. Heather Langenkamp was there, Elvira was there. I mean, like they have a lot of really big name people. Scott Ian from Anthrax, got to hang out with him. He's cool as fuck. Um, yeah, like yeah, dude, like they have some really big name people there. Like I said, the cult classics and Bastrop, it's more like indie films, and I mean they'll get some big name people too, but it's more like cult, like cult classic movies
oh yeah,
and and indie movies. Shit, they had it was a Warriors reunion too. This whenever we went, there was a 4 or 5 of the Warriors there. Like I was like, oh, dude, like James Remar, Dexter's dad. He was Ajax in the
yep,
Warriors, the badass.
yep.
Oh my god, dude, that dude is cool as fuck. Him and the guy who played Vermin in the Warriors. That dude is a cool fucking guy. I can't think of his name right now, but he was cool as shit, man. One of like the chillest like celebrity people that I've ever met.
Yeah. Well, I'm a Ted Raimi met him 20 some years ago at Mid Ohio Con, big comic book convention. He was a guest there, and that was back in the day when we used to make fun of because we used to call it BarCon because you'd go hang out at the hotel bar. And that's when they would take their breaks. They'd hang out in the hotel bar, so you get to hang out and meet all these people. I've had drinks with Ted Raimi. I mean,
Hell
he's
yeah.
literally sat like right here and bullshitted with me and my wife, and
This is
had a
a
blast.
fucking boxer.
Yeah,
Like, dude, that's so badass, dude. Like,
and he was just chill, dude, and he was just having a good time. He was just like happy to be there. He didn't, but I hate the fact that they try to keep, and I get why they have to now, but the fact that they keep the guests so far away from it just like, oh man, why do you got to put them all
right.
and
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of stuff like that. Like here in Texas, like they don't really do that. Like hell the after party and stuff at Cult Classic, like it was straight up like everybody was mingling together and shit. Like it was fucking cool, man. Same thing with Frightmare. Like going up and fucking getting drinks with Robert or something, like it's wild, dude.
oh yeah, that's what I like because I ended up hanging out with the dude from that did Haunted Screams Expo. That's the one I went to in Virginia, and so we got invited to the after. We were with the after party and everything, so we got to hang out with all these horror movie people, and it was so fun. And some of them are kind of like standoffish, and you're like you can tell they just don't really want to be there. But then you got the ones that are up there partying and drinking and just dancing their asses off, and you're just like, they want to be here. Those are
Yeah,
the people you
yeah.
want. So, oh my god, the
Yeah, it's awesome, and that's the thing too, dude. Going from being a fan to like now like having fans, like it's fucking weird to me. Like I still can't like kind of wrap my brain around that. You know what I mean? I mean, hell,
oh yeah.
I'm shooting in my backyard, like literally, like our sets are in my backyard, like. But yeah, it's awesome. It's one of those things that like I will literally never forget like and especially like I can't wait for the future either, man. But like I'll never forget this point in my life because like it's just there's so much fun, dude, in doing this to me. Like like you said, like it's not about money. Like
No.
it's never been about money. Like I literally I just love to share my love of horror with everyone. And that's literally what it's always been about with me, and that's what it'll always be about.
Yeah. Well, funny thing you're talking about fans. I go to my mailbox at my shop because I just have, if anybody needs to send anything, I just give them the shop's address. And I go and there's just this envelope in there, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, care of Paul Lee. All right. I go and I cut it open. I realize it's a fan letter, a legit letter. Somebody wrote me on freaking notebook paper, and I'm like, that's awesome. I have,
Yeah, that's badass.
and I don't know, about 3 months ago or so, right around Christmas time, I got a letter, and I got this like, not an actual letter, but an email. And this guy sends me this really heart, from the heart letter. And I went up to my wife and was like, I don't know what to say. I was, this guy like laid himself out, there, and I'm like, I appreciate it. She goes, just write that you I was like, man, I was like, thank you for watching and being there and doing all this. But I was like, that's weird to me. I wouldn't.
Yeah, right, right. But I mean, see, but that's the thing though, too. Like, and that's another thing. Like, man, there's so much to just talk about and discuss. Like, I get very philosophical about a lot of shit, but like, it made me like realize like how much of an audience I really do have
Oh
doing
yeah.
all this. Like how many people actually really do watch this. Like I was fucking shocked when I found out how many people actually watch the show. Like I was stunned. But it made me want to be a better person. Not just for me, but for everyone else.
Oh yeah. Well, I do
As
this
cheesy as that
because,
sounds.
yeah. Well, I do it all because, there's a lot of bullshit, and we're getting older, and stuff isn't fun anymore, you know. And
Exactly,
if
dude.
you get a few hours of fun every week by watching your favorite horror host, or watching cartoons you grew up on, or horror movies you grew up on, or and that you can make somebody's life a little bit better, even if it's for a half hour a day. And I'm like,
Exactly.
I love being able to do that. I mean,
Exactly. That's what it's all about to me, dude.
oh yeah, it's, I don't know. I'm gonna, I get kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but it's one of them ones where you're like, I just want people to kind of set back, relax, forget you're an adult for a little bit of time, forget you got bills to pay, and just set back and have fun. And
Exactly.
and I got these guys tell me, "Oh, I watch it with my grandkids, or I watch it with my kids," and this stuff. I'm like, that's what I'm doing it for, man. Is to
Yep. Hell yeah.
oh, so
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what it's all about, man.
But so I got to ask you, how did you come about and decide on Bud the Demon?
Well, like I had this Krampus mask, and all originally like I had this idea. I was wanting to do like a like a sort of Tales from the Crypt sort of series,
Mm-hmm.
Tales from the Nine Circles, and it was Beelzebub. Well, like the more I started thinking about it, and more I started, and that's whenever it's sort of like I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna be a horror host. Like I'll do that." And like it went from sort of being way more dark and demonic to being a more friendly, more metalhead, more hey everybody, how's it going? Like this more of a goat, kind of creature, And whenever I saw that mask from Zagoni Studios, I was like, that's it. That's Bub right there. That's Bub the Demon. And that's like, and that sort of, like that attitude and everything. It's like, like well, his name's Beelzebub, but all his friends call him Bub. Like I don't know, man. It just and that's growing up with a lot of '80s metal, growing up with Pantera, Southern rock. That's got a and the Misfits. Got a lot of influence on the character for sure. Dio, lots of Dio.
Hey, that's actually why I started doing at the end of each of my shows. The other two shows, the sci-fi and the cartoon show, I do vinyl reviews.
Yeah, fuck yeah,
Because
man.
I started posting like, oh man, I got new vinyl in this week. I got new vinyl. And people are like, well, what's that like? I'm like, well, shit, I'm gonna start telling people what it's like.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And see, people love that shit, dude. Like that's you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
there's a lot of like the I guess it's nostalgia, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like stuff that we grew up on, like I don't know if it's a lot of like older people like us, you know what I mean? Like rekindling like this old love, or if it's that and you know us bringing new people, you know, into this shit, you know what I mean? Which I think it's both really like because I've seen a lot of younger people like watch Svengoolie and talk about Sven and stuff now, and
Oh
that
yeah.
blew my mind. I was like, holy shit, you watch Svengoolie? What?
Well, it's funny finding these kids that are like, I say kids because I'm old, but
I mean, I feel bad about that, but yeah.
and if you're roughly around my kids' age, you're a kid. But it's
Yeah,
like seeing these guys in their 20s now doing horror hosting. I'm like, how did you guys find horror hosting? I was like, because I hate to say this, but I thought it was dead at one point. I
yeah, for
mean,
sure, man. Me too, man.
because it's just sort of disappeared, at least locally here in Ohio. But then I found out that it was just because we didn't get it, and then YouTube happened, and then all those people that were making up in like Cleveland, people over in Toledo, Slash over in freaking Indiana, you got Sally over in Pennsylvania, and I'm like, these guys are right here. And then I start watching their episodes because I'm like, oh, you can YouTube all this stuff, and I'm
Yep.
like, it never went away, and
And that's what's badass, man.
it's so cool, and finding, like I said, getting, because I've done interviews with people from like in their 20s, all the way up into their 60s that are still doing horror hosting, and I'm like, that's amazing. That's a whole generation of people. That is
Oh
two
yeah,
generations.
for sure, man, for sure. And like you, like I just turned 38. Like I'm almost 40. Um, but yeah, dude, like growing up in the '80s and stuff. Like I said, like that was and down south down here, like Joe Bob was what we had. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like
yeah.
until like I said, you know, and like up till about 6 or 7 years ago, whenever I found Slash, you know what I mean? And then all the other horror hosts from on the Monster Channel too, and like I fell in love with everybody on there, like Hack and Molto, Doc Dread. I mean, everybody. Sally, Zombie
Allie.
Cheerleader, the Mummy and the Monkey. I mean, there's so many badass horror hosts out there, and like, and that was finding Slash, and then like as Svengoolie was, you know, like, and I got to thank my father-in-law for that one. He got me hooked on Sven, man.
It, I remember when I didn't have cable for a while, and all of a sudden I'm watching like during the channel because we had was it was our local channel was like 7.2 was Me TV, and
Yep.
it's like Sven Gulli on from what? There's a horror host on regular TV, and I'm like,
Right.
yeah,
That
and
blew my
I hate this.
mind.
I don't watch it every week, but I DVR it. So there's like some Sundays I sit down while I'm like dealing with my comics or cleaning house, and I watch like 5 of them in a row.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yes, dude, I was super stoked too. We watch it every week. My daughter's got to watch it. She's a big Spanguli fan. Um, but they showed our audition for Spawn and Spanguli again. I was like, damn, like I think that's like the third or fourth time they've showed us now. So I'm keeping my claws crossed on that one, man.
See, I have horror hosts that give me shit because I don't wear a mask, I don't wear makeup. I because I'm Saturday morning guy, so I got my robe, I got my whatever, and now they're like, well, if you're going to do a horror host thing, you got to start doing this. So mask maker Mikey Severe was he's like, I'm going to teach you how to do your makeup. So you cannot be this. And I'm like, all right.
Oh man.
Uh, and then I got my character. I busted out my old character I created probably 10 years ago. And that was Dr. Edgar Shelley Lovecraft, PhD, not MD. Because everybody's a doctor that, you know, and I'm like, no, he's a research scientist is what he is.
Right.
And then I bring my wife, who's a legit witch, is my host, the witch.
Oh, that's badass.
And we had an episode that we did for I think it was our Christmas episode. I had a stack of books sitting there that I have all these books on like witchcraft and stuff like. And the worst part about it is I'm not, and my wife's a witch, but I love reading about it, but I don't. It's not my thing. But I have the Malus Maleficarum, the witches, you know, the hammer, and I'm sitting there. And my wife's going on, and I just pick that book up and I start reading it. And I'm like, how to deal with a witch wife. And she looks over, she goes, that's not even cool. I'm like, that was all made up at the moment just because he was giving me crap.
That's awesome.
And so do you script your stuff or is it on the fly?
I mean, we have like little bullet points, but like everything that we do, it's all ad lib, dude.
See, the only time I do anything it's bullet points is I jot down notes from the movies. Like, you know,
Yep,
hey, this was filmed here, here, and here. This guy was here, and that's it. And the rest of it is just all of us, just me and my wife and my son who appears on my on my shows. You couldn't teach him, you couldn't get him to do anything because he's 12 years old, he's 5'4", he's 200 pounds, and he has autism. So if he doesn't want to do it, you're not making him do it.
Yeah, that's my daughter too, man. She's strong-willed as hell. Yeah, she has autism too. So yeah, I know what that's like, man. They don't want to do something that they ain't doing it.
Not making them. And
No.
But he loves appearing on the shows. That kid,
That's awesome.
like I'll be sitting there, I'm like, so Vince, is it Saturday morning? He'll, yep. Are we gonna watch Saturday morning cartoons? And he's just like, he sticks his thumb. I was like, what do you want? Awesome. He's like, I want cake. And I'm like, well, you can't have cake. And he wanders off. And so there's this whole thing on my show about people is like, Vince, cake, and they'll type it. I'll do I'll air it, and then Saturday mornings or Friday nights. And I'll be in the chat when it airs because I'm always there when the show drops. At least I try to be there for at least a little bit of the time.
Yeah.
And people are like, Vince is here, cake. And
that's freaking awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, man. But I'm like, no, it's like I don't make him be on the show. If he wants to be on the show, he's on the show. The son I want to be on the show doesn't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah. Go figure, right?
Oh man, he's my I would say he's my mini me, but me and him are the same size because he's 23, so I can't say that.
I'll call my daughter my mini me. Yeah, she's 13 going on 30, but she's a lot like me, and like, dude, she's like a freaking encyclopedia when it comes to like Universal and horror film, the Hammer films. Like, dude, she knows so freaking much. She'd tell you like the years they came out, like damn near the entire cast of each one. I'm like, holy shit, how the hell do you remember all this?
I'm kind of that way. I used to be. Now I'm getting
same here. I mean, I'm the same way with a lot of other stuff, but like, yes, I mean, it blew my mind, like, because like I didn't know that she knew any of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, well, hell, I'll be at work, you know what I mean, and come home, and then she's like, oh, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, holy shit, how did you know that? Like, she's been watching Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I'm like, holy shit, whoa, awesome, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, you gotta love that. My son that, like I said, I'd love for him to be on the show, won't. He didn't get in horror till later on, but when he got into it, he really got into it.
Yeah.
But he's he's a student, as I like to say. He loves learning about stuff and figuring out where stuff came. He's become like
Yeah.
this like student of music and movies. And like if he finds a band that he really likes, he'll figure out what made that band that band. So he'll start studying the music that they liked. And
Oh, that's awesome.
and he does the same thing with movies. So I'm like, kid, crazy. So,
Yeah.
but I can actually watch weird, stupid movies with him, and my wife just stares at me. She goes, "Is that in Russian?" Yeah, it is. I'm going upstairs. Okay.
Yeah. See, that's awesome too. Yeah, that's what I love too. Yeah, I mean, me and the kiddo will be watching anime, and like Sarah's like, yeah, I'm going to the other room.
What's your favorite anime?
Oh, gee, my favorite anime, definitely, dude. It's damn near neck and neck. It probably is neck and neck. But Fist of the North Star and Berserk, man.
You know, Berserk used to be one of my top 10, and I'm not gonna lie. What was it, like 5 years ago, where they released that really bad Berserk, really soft animated,
Oh God,
and I
yeah.
hated it so bad that it actually hurt the rest of the Berserk.
Yeah, those are terrible. Yeah, I don't care for those, man. I don't like this most of the time. I don't like the CG animes, but there are a lot of them that I do. What the hell was that one? It was a racing one.
Redline?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yep.
That motherfucker's badass. Like, that one blew me away. And there was another one too recently that was a lot of CG that was actually really, really good. I can't think of it right now off the top of
The
my head,
the
but
one that blew me away was the Captain Harlock movie that came
yeah,
out.
that shit was badass, dude.
I grew up on Captain Harlock, Arcadia, my youth, and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there, and
Oh
it's like I looked at the video, I saw the trailer, and I'm like, I gotta find this. And the video store that I used to go to was like, they had it, and I kept looking at it, looking at it, and all of a sudden it was like on sale on Blu-ray for like, I don't know, $1, and I'm like, that's mine. So
yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's like, yeah, I've got a Galaxy Express 999 DVD in there right now. Like that, I saw that somewhere for like $1 or something. And the kiddo was like, I think she's got that in her collection now. I'm like, ah, damn you. Stay away from my DVDs.
well, it's bad is that one of my favorite animes of all times is the movie Bow. And
Oh, dude. Hold on.
yep, I got that, and I have the laser disc.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about, man. Yeah, dude, that's one of my favorites, man. And like, shit, I got into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, way the fuck back in the day, dude. Like, when the Dreamcast game came out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I got into it because I had it on Dreamcast, and I had the OVAs, the
Yeah,
that first, like, and I got that, what, like 99, I think, is
yep.
when I got it. No
Dude,
one had
those were
heard.
so badass, man.
And it was funny because my kids, my two middle boys, got really into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and they're playing the game, and I look over, and there's Bao, and I'm like, the hell?
Yeah,
And they're like, Bao, and I'm like, I know who Bao is, and
yeah.
and then I found the VHS, let them watch the VHS, and they're like, wow, this is freaking cool. I'm like, yeah. So
And that was another one. Like, well, I mean, JoJo's fucking violent, but like, but Bao's way more violent than JoJo is. But I mean, but still, like, yeah, dude, like, whenever I found out that he was a downloadable character on Battle Royale, I was like,
yep.
oh, it's fucking over now. I'm getting that motherfucker. I gotta
The
play
fact
with Battle.
the fact that his finishing move is him with the big gun attached to his arm, and I'm like, you have to know the cartoon. You don't get that.
Yep, yep. Otherwise, you don't really, yeah, you don't get the context of it.
No.
Yeah.
And
Oh, break that thunder! Ah, God, I love that shit, dude.
I love it when, and I just rewatched it again the other day, man. When the big psychic Indian guy comes in and he takes that blade and he cuts it, and the guy puts his hands up like this, and his fingers fall off, and the blade's still stuck.
Whack, go right in his head.
And that's his tribute. That's his tribute to freaking Fist of the North Star. Is that guy? So
Really?
yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah, yep. That's why he's all weird looking compared to the rest of the cast, because it's like post-apocalyptic looking big Indian.
Yeah, yeah, super fucking huge psychic Indian. Like, what?
Yep.
Okay, that's kind of strange, but okay.
Mm-hmm. And then I bought at Horror Hound back in, oh geez, was it March of last year? I bought a stack of laser discs
Oh
just
shit!
to get the anime out of it.
Nice.
A friend of mine goes, he goes, "You still looking for laser discs?" I went, "Yeah," and he goes, boom, and he sets this thing up on his table and he goes, "You want to buy some?" And I was like, "Ah, man." And he goes, $500 buys everything. He goes, "Plus I have stuff at the shop that you can pick up later." And I'm like, and I start flipping through, and the big thing in there was the Super Mario movie unopened on Laserdisc.
Oh shit!
And
Hell
it was like $400 on eBay at the time. And he goes, "This should pay for your stuff." And I'm like, I was like, "Man, would you do 4 instead of 5?" He's like, so we went back and forth a little bit. I bought it at 400. I end up selling. I didn't get 400 out of the disc. I think I got like 275 out of but yeah, brand new sealed John Leguizamo, Bob Hoskins Super Mario movie.
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck
But,
yeah. Shit, what anime was in there, man?
Dominion Tank Police, um Hyperdoll, Moldiver, um
Oh,
Armitage, all the Armitage plus Armitage the Third, the movie, um, to all the Tenchi Muyo.
holy
Um,
shit. So you
uh,
got a good fucking haul.
yeah, and I sold some of it because some of it was like, and the worst part about it is I love Robotech, and they had Robotech in there, but it was like volume 1, 4, 5, 6, 9, and I'm like,
Oh,
I have the
damn.
entire series, and I even have some of the old VHS tapes, and I was like, we'll sell those, and that'll help pay for the stuff that I'm going to keep. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
as I'm sitting here looking over here, I don't think I have them here. I know I don't have the laser discs, but I do have Robotech on VHS tape,
Nice.
and then I
Fuck
have
yeah, dude.
the great big boxes somewhere too. So
Fuck yeah.
back when you
That's
bought your
badass,
anime
man.
one episode at a time, people forgot that was a thing.
Yeah. Oh god, dude. Yeah, that was the worst, man. That was the worst. And like you're saying, like Moldiver, like dude, I remember picking every one of those up, dude. And I think it was like 2 episodes on a VHS, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I don't know why I even like ended up like picking that one up, but like I watched like the first one and I was fucking hooked. I was like, dude, this show is so fucking goofy, but I
Oh yeah,
love it. Like,
it's
I
so
fucking love
stupid.
it.
The really misogynist guy turns into a woman superhero. That's
Yeah,
great.
fucking hilarious. Hilarious.
The cool part about the laser discs is one side is the dub, the other side is the subtitled. So
Oh, see, that's badass.
yeah,
See, that's badass.
yeah. And what was I'm trying to remember what I, because I know I got like a couple other ones in there and I cannot think of the other ones. Oh, like Devil Hunter Yoko.
Oh
Yeah,
shit, dude. That's another fucking classic, man. Damn.
and
It's like I've never even heard anybody else even talk about that one, dude. Like me and my brother used to watch that when we were fucking teenagers growing up and shit, man. But yeah, dude, that's a fucking classic, man. Oh,
see,
dude, MD Geist.
MD
MD
Geist.
Geist is another one, man.
MD Geist was one of the ones that I worked at a comic book shop when I was 15. And a friend of mine at the time, he's like, "Man, have you seen, you like anime, right?" I was like, yeah, I like Voltron, I like Robotech, all the, Star Blazers, Gundam, stuff like this. Man, watch this stuff. And he hands me like 5 movies. MD Geist, Bow, Matic 01, Metal Skin Panic, Fist of the North Star, the movie,
Nice.
and was it Vampire Hunter D.
Nice.
And I'm like, I fell in love. I was like, holy shit. And then shortly thereafter, I started ordering everything and I became friends with people who bootleg. And I kind of had some stuff from back when I was in high school because I had a girl that I used to hang out with in high school, and she was from Japan. So every summer she'd go back to Japan. And so she took a VCR from America, took it over there, and would record anime for me. So when we come back from summer break, she would hand me like 5 VHS tapes, just jam packed full of anime.
Dude,
And,
that's badass.
and that was back when you had, remember when you had SAP at the bottom of your TV? So the Spanish subtitles at the bottom.
Yeah,
In Japan, you could get TVs that would run English subtitles across the bottom.
that's
So
badass.
recorded it from TV with the American subtitles across the bottom. And I was watching like Dragon Ball Z before anybody had heard of Dragon Ball Z. I was watching Gundam from Japan, and I was watching all these shows that no one had heard of. And then we get them like 5 years later.
Right, dude. See, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, dude. Yeah, that's fucking legit, man. That's fucking legit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll show you this real quick before I gotta hop off here.
All right.
But yeah, want to a little worse for wear, but
Oh yeah, I got a couple of those. I have
still got
it's buried over there in a shelf where I go get them. I have the complete collection of Fist of the North Star.
no shit. The master editions?
It's I want to say it's quasi legal.
Oh shit.
It's an import, but it's really nice. It comes in really nice like slip cases and the whole 9 yards. It folds out, plays great. But the problem is the menu is Japanese.
Oh, you're talking about DVDs?
Yeah.
Oh,
And,
word. Yeah.
and so I have to go scroll down to where I can understand like English, so I can punch the English subtitles in so I can watch it.
Hell yeah.
Oh man,
I still got that one, and I've got volume 2, my master editions.
sweet. Yep, I got those. I got those probably in my at the shop, put in my comic boxes somewhere.
Yeah, I fucking love that shit, man. Love it, dude. Yeah, that's like I said, that was definitely one of my favorites. That was the first anime movie I ever saw before I even knew what the fuck anime was Fist of the North Star. Hell of an introduction to anime.
Oh yeah, definitely. I got really lucky. Like right after I graduated high school, we had a theater. Yeah, it's about 40 minutes away from my house at the time. But like one Saturday a month, it was either Friday or Saturday, they had anime nights. So you'd go in and you watch 3 anime movies.
That's
And
badass.
legitimately, like the first night I went, it was I'm not 100%. I know the movies I saw there, but I couldn't tell you which ones I saw in order. But I'm pretty sure the first one I saw was I got to see Vampire Hunter D on the big screen, Ghost in the Shell on the big screen, and Akira on the big screen.
Oh, that's fucking badass, dude.
And then I think I went later and saw like Robot Carnival, because it was just the movies for the most part. I think they did like a 2 episode, like a Gundam, where you got to see like 2 episodes of a Gundam. But yeah, and it was like, oh shit, this is even though I'd seen Vampire D probably 100 times on VHS tape, you're suddenly going in and it's on the big screen. And you're like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Yeah, that's I do. Yeah, I got to see Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust in the theaters at Tinseltown in Dallas back when I still lived in Waxahachie. Yeah, dude, that fucking woo! Yeah, that blew me away, man. That and see, and they would do that too whenever they would show one like a new anime movie. They would show an old school anime movie. They would do like a double feature. Whenever I saw Princess Mononoke, that for some reason they did a double feature with the Ghost in the Shell. So yeah, I was like, dude, we got to stay for that though. I mean, who's not gonna? I've never seen Ghost in the Shell in the theater. We gotta fucking watch that.
I think the
So
only reason they did that is because I think they came out the same year. And I think that might be the
yeah,
only reason. Oh man. The yeah, there's some badass anime movies. I got out of it for a while because my old shop was we called the Anime Source. It was a comic book shop, an anime store. So you could come in and rent anime or buy anime, like a video store.
that's badass.
And I had so much of it and I had watched so much of it for the time I had that I just got burnt out on it for a while and I had to take a break. And now I'm slowly getting back into it. I'm not gonna lie. The other day I had every Dragon Ball episode come through the shop. So that's from Dragon Ball through Super, all of the episodes, all the movies, everything. And I'm just sitting there going, I should put that out for sale, but nope, that's going to my collection.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Straight up, man.
Yep.
Straight up.
Man. That's awesome though, man.
Yeah.
As we go on anime instead of talking about being a horror host and stuff. But...
yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. Like I could just go on and ramble about all kinds of shit, man. We got a lot of stuff in common, man.
Oh yeah. And it's funny because you just told me you just turned 38, you said?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm getting ready to turn 49. So
oh, shit.
I'll be 49 in June. And
hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It's I got tired of getting older.
yeah. I fucking hear you, man. That's like me, man. I'm like, no, that's it. I'm drawing the line. Drawing the line. I'm not growing up anymore now after this. That's it.
It's funny because recently I got into to cosplay. I got back into anime. I do what, and it's funny because people are like, I was like, dude, I wear stuff that has a mask, so I can hide this.
yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. I was like, nobody wants to look at this ugly mug. Nobody does. That's why I wear a fucking goat mask.
Exactly. And it's funny because there's a picture of me, and I was just testing out. I got a set of Stormtrooper armor, and I put it on, and my beard's sticking out the bottom of the helmet because the helmet only comes down to here.
Hell yeah.
And everybody's like, your beard's sticking out. I'm like, I know. Hold on a second. I gotta. They put a rubber band in it, and then I'm like, all right, now my beard is good. And then I did this year I took my son trick-or-treating and I had bought one of them high-end Spider-Man costumes off a buddy of mine. And I took him trick-or-treating and I'm like sitting there trying to get my beard. I got a couple rubber bands in it. I got it up underneath the mask, trying to be comfortable so it's not like this all night just rubbing.
Right.
And then I felt bad because every little kid wanted their picture taken with Spider-Man, so I got to stop and take pictures of people. And my kid wants to trick or treat.
No, yeah, he's like, damn it, I just want some fucking candy.
And then they got, because he's such a big kid that he's Mario. So all these other little kids wanted their picture taken with Spider-Man and Mario. So then he started enjoying it because all the kids thought he was cool too. So.
That's awesome, man.
My wife's walking me around because I can't see nothing. Those Spider-Man goggles, you have your range of vision might be this much. That's it. And we're in the dark, and I'm like walking around with my wife on my wife's shoulder, so I don't.
Oh, dude, I bet, man. I bet that's fucking terrible, dude.
And then it got really cold, and I want to tell you something. A Spider-Man costume is not very your friend when it's cold outside.
Yeah, I would imagine not, man. I would imagine not. But yeah, man, yeah, I'm gonna have to fucking hop off here, man. I gotta wake up and go to work I gotta be there at 6 in the morning.
Ooh,
so
sorry.
Yeah, oh no, dude, it's all good, man. Like they're yeah, I'm busy as shit right now, dude. Just like casting miniatures like crazy, getting ready for Adepticon.
So I, before you go, is that the behind you, is that the Ghostbuster? Is that the Ghostbuster firehouse?
It is a firehouse. You could use it for Ghostbusters.
because I'm sitting there trying to get a good look at it, and I'm like, that looks like the firehouse from Ghostbusters. Oh yeah, that would definitely be acceptable as a.
Oh yeah, for sure. And see, this is the company I work for, Black Site Studios. This is one of our MDF terrain kits. Like you can take the roof off in each floor. Like you
Oh,
can actually play inside each floor of the building.
so do you guys make like for D&D and stuff?
Yeah, oh yeah, like any tabletop game. Oh yeah, dude. We have like terrain from anything from fantasy stuff to Western, World War II, modern stuff to the cyberpunk. We've got every damn thing, man.
Do you guys have a catalog?
Webpage, blacksitestudios.com.
Cool, cool, cool. Because I'll let people know because I run a comic book and gaming shop. People buy the hell out of D&D miniatures and stuff like that. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And yeah, dude, we've got a couple of badass new games about to come out. I know they're about to release the newest edition of Don't Look Back, which was the company's first tabletop game because they were just making MDF kits and stuff at first. And the first tabletop game they made was a horror tabletop game. It's like a slasher tabletop game where you're like a group of survivors trying to survive this encounter with a slasher or a monster. And this is what's really fucking cool is each expansion comes in like a VHS case with like a new killer and new rules, new scenario, like all of that. But yeah, dude, yeah, definitely check it out, dude. Yeah, Black Site Studios.
Nice, nice. Well, man, we're gonna have to put a pin in this. We're gonna have to do this again and continue our conversations.
Oh yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
And one of these days, man, we're all because I've talked to Hack, I've talked to Slash, and I'm gonna talk. One of these days, we're all gonna have to just appear on everybody's shows.
Oh
So,
yeah, for sure. Absolutely, dude.
so
I'm definitely wanting to do crossovers with I'm willing to do crossovers with anybody, really. But I have one planned with Slash and one planned with Hack.
yeah,
So
Hack's supposed to be on the show sometime again because Hack and Dr. Zombo are my reoccurring guest. And me and Dr. Zombo are hoping to do a like monthly live episode
hell yeah,
where you can come in and we just have everybody all at once and talk stupid shit and all that fun
hell
stuff.
yeah, hell yeah. I'm down, man.
Hell yeah, we'll do that shit. All right, man.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
before we keep talking longer, I'm gonna let you go. Is there anything you want to tell people where we can watch you at?
Right now on YouTube, Cave of Carnage, or look us up on Facebook. We're on Graveyard Television. You'll see us all on there now.
All right. And where can they find you at personally?
On Facebook, James Carnes, or you can look up Nightmare Ninja Studios. That's where I do all my mask making stuff and other film projects and that sort of stuff. So
Cool. All right, man. I'll put some of this information at the end. This episode will drop Monday afternoon, Monday morning for you. And I'll send you a link and stuff when we get it ready to go. So, all right, man.
yeah,
Well, you take care. Be careful and
yeah,
try to have a good night.
yeah, yeah. Thank you, brother.
Now I'm gonna go back to working on my other show. So take care, man.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, man. It's been a blast.
Yeah, man. Cool. Later.
Later, brother.